The Grand Council Hall of the Galactic Alliance was the most secure place in the galaxy. Thick steel walls, invisible force fields, armed guards at every door. No one entered without full clearance. Inside, 20 alien leaders sat in a wide circle. Their faces were cold, their eyes sharp. These were the most powerful beings in the galaxy. They came from different planets, some with green skin, some with horns, some with eyes that glowed in the dark. And today, they all came for one reason: to plan the end of Earth. A tall alien with silver armor stood up. His name was High Commander Threx. He raised his long hand and spoke. "Humanity is growing too fast," he said. "Too strong, too dangerous." The room stayed silent. He continued. "They were not meant to leave their planet, and now they build warships, they enter space, they fight back." Another alien, short and blue with long claws, nodded. "They are a threat. If we do not stop them now, they will become like US." The others agreed. "Let us strike first," said one. "Yes, destroy Earth before it's too late," said another. But among them, hidden in the back row, was a quiet figure who didn't belong. He looked like them. His skin was green, his eyes yellow, but it was only a mask, a perfect disguise. Underneath, he was human. His name was Agent Cade Walker, Earth's top spy, trained to survive anywhere, even in the heart of the enemy. He sat still, he didn't blink, he didn't move. He knew one small mistake, and he would die. The mask on his face changed color automatically. His voice, if he spoke, would sound alien. His ID chip said he was Ambassador Drex of Sector 9. Fake name, fake background, all perfect. He had spent months learning their language, their history, their culture, everything to fit in. And now he was here, inside their most secret meeting, listening to every word. His heart beat faster with every plan they made. "We will send a fleet of destroyers," said Threx. "Wipe out their cities, burn their oceans, make their world silent." Cade clenched his fists under the table, but he stayed calm. He had to, if they found out what he was. Suddenly, the door opened. A new alien entered. Tall, strong, armor black as space. General Zorth. Zorth was famous, a war hero, a killer. He had destroyed 5 civilizations without mercy. He walked slowly to his seat and looked around the room. Then, his eyes stopped on Cade. He stared, long, hard. Cade didn't move. Even Breathe Loud. Zor sat down, but he kept looking at him. Watching. Cade knew right then Zorth had a sharp mind. Maybe too sharp, but the meeting continued. The aliens brought out maps, charts, weapon designs, troop numbers. All the plans to destroy Earth. Cade's hidden recorder, inside his chest armor, saved every word and image. He had what he came for, but now, how to leave? He had entered with a fake ID during a crowd rush, but getting out would be harder. The station would lock down soon. No one in, no one out. Suddenly the lights dimmed. The screen in the middle of the hall turned on. A video began to play. Earth cities, human armies, rockets, ships, everything the aliens feared. But Cade didn't look at the screen. He used the dark moment to tap his wrist. A small screen lit up. It showed his hidden transmitter. The signal was weak, but working. He sent the first message. "Urgent. Council planning Earth invasion. Details follow." As the message uploaded, the bar filled slowly. 5%, 12%, 30%, 30%, but then, unauthorized transmission detected. A robotic voice said. The room lit up. Red warning lights flashed. Cade quickly pressed cancel. The message stopped at 43%. The aliens looked around. "Who is sending a signal?" One of them shouted. "Check all IDs," said another. Cade stayed calm. His ID was fake, but strong. Still, he couldn't risk another try. Zorth stood again, his voice cold. "Someone here is not who they claim to be," he said, "and I will find them." The meeting ended early. Everyone was told to return to their quarters. Guards began scanning everyone one by one. Cade walked slowly with the others, his face unreadable. Inside, he was calculating. He needed a new plan. Fast, he couldn't contact Earth, not now. But he had one chance left, his escape pod, hidden on the lower deck. If he could reach it before the next scan, he might survive. As he walked past Zorth, the general stepped in front of him. "You? What's your name?" Zorth asked. Cade looked him in the eyes, his voice deep, calm. Zorth squinted, thinking then, nodded slowly. Yes, perhaps," he said, but he still looked unsure. He didn't look back. In the cold silence of the hallway, Cade turned a corner. Alone now, he pulled out a small device. It showed a 3D map of the station. He traced a route to the escape pod. Time was short. The aliens were planning the death of his world, but Earth had a chance, because one human sat in that room, and he was not done yet. The hallway was dark and cold. Metal walls, buzzing lights, and silent cameras watched everything. Cade Walker moved fast, but quiet. His boots made no sound. Every second mattered now. He had failed to send the full message. To Earth, only 43% was uploaded. That was not enough. The Galactic Council was hunting him, and he knew. The next time someone looked too close, his fake ID wouldn't save him. He had one mission now: get the full invasion plans and escape. As he moved through the lower corridor, Cade checked his map. The alien archive room was just 2 levels below. That's where they stored war data, fleet movements, and full council records. If he could get inside and copy those files, Earth would know everything. But there was a problem. The room had 2 guards, both armed. Both machines, security drones. With laser sights and motion tracking, Cade took a deep breath. He pulled out a small chip from his glove. It was a custom hack device, Earth-made, silent, and fast. But it only worked once. He stepped behind a metal crate and waited. The guards stood like statues in front of the glowing archive door. Then, a small beep from his device, a sudden burst of static filled the hallway. The lights blinked once, then again. The guards turned their heads slightly, confused. Cade moved fast. He slid across the floor, staying low, and reached the door panel. His fingers moved quickly. The chip entered. Green light flashed, access granted. He slipped inside just as the drones turned back. The archive room was cold and silent. Rows of data crystals floated inside glass tubes. Each one held a memory emission, he whispered. The download started 10%, 20%, 30%, He wiped sweat from his forehead. Then he heard a sound, a small click behind him. He turned. A female alien stood at the door, thin, purple-skinned, with soft eyes and a tool belt around her waist. An engineer. She looked surprised. "Scared? You're not one of them?" she said quietly. Cade froze. He reached for his weapon, but she raised her hands. "No. Please, I'm not your enemy," she whispered. Cade stared at her. "Who are you?" "My name is Lyra. I fix systems. I saw your transmission attempt. I knew you weren't like the others." His voice stayed cold. "Then why didn't you call security?" "Because I hate what they're planning," she said. "They want to destroy your world. But I've watched humans. I've listened. You're not evil." Cade narrowed his eyes. "You want to help?" She nodded. "Yes, but we have little time. Scans will reach this area in minutes." The recorder beeped. "Download complete." He grabbed it. "I have the data. I just need a way out." Lyra looked around. "Come, I know a way through the maintenance tunnels. No cameras?" Cade hesitated for a moment. Could he trust her? But he had no other choice. He followed her. They entered a narrow tunnel behind the wall. It was dark, tight, and smelled like oil. Pipes hissed as they crawled forward. "Why are you helping me?" he asked. Lyra answered softly. "Because your people still feel, still hope. These leaders, they've forgotten that. I don't want another war." Cade stayed silent. After a long crawl, they reached a hidden ladder. "This leads to Dock 6, she said. "You can escape from there." He looked up. "And you?" "I will stay. I can slow the scans." "Buy you time." Cade looked at her. There was truth in her eyes. He nodded. "If I make it out, I'll tell Earth about you." She gave a small smile. "Just tell them not all aliens are monsters." Then she disappeared into the shadows. Cade climbed the ladder at the top. He opened a hatch. The docking bay was quiet. Only a few small ships parked. A patrol bot moved slowly on the far side. He ran to his hidden pod-on old cargo unit he had reprogrammed days ago. He jumped inside and started the engine. The ship hummed. A light turned red. Unauthorized launch detected. Too late. Sirens blared. Guards shouted. Cade pressed the thrusters. The ship shot forward, crashing through the docking gate as space opened in front of him. He looked back. The entire station was now glowing red with alerts. But he had the data, he had the truth, and Earth still had a chance. General Zorth stood in the center of the council chamber. His eyes, dark and sharp, moved across the room. His mind replayed everything from the last meeting. The stranger in the back row, the one called Ambassador Drex. Zorth didn't remember him from previous cycles. No records, no greetings, no official meetings. That was strange, and Zorth never ignored strange things. Run a background check on Drex of Sector 9, he told his assistant. The assistant, a small alien with a cube-shaped head, blinked nervously. But, sir, Sector 29 has no ambassador on file. Zorth's face turned cold. Exactly, he said. Meanwhile, Cade's stolen pod flew fast through empty space. His hands stayed tight on the controls. Every few seconds, he looked over his shoulder, expecting an enemy ship to appear. His oxygen levels were low. His fuel, 34%. He had to make it to Outpost Tacticians, a secret Earth listening station hidden near a dead moon. He activated his stealth field. The ship shimmered, then vanished from radar. But he knew that wouldn't stop Zorth. Nothing ever did. Back on the Galactic Council station, alarms still rang. Zorth walked into the archive room. Guards were everywhere. Crystals were scattered. One of the data units was missing. Seal all systems, Zorth growled. Check for any copied files. A technician ran over Genro. The security drone captured a partial image of the intruder. He showed the screen. It was blurry, but clear enough. Zorth leaned in. There it was, a human-shaped outline. Heart pounded once. Then he smiled. So, they sent one of their own. He stood tall. Prepare my ship. I will hunt him myself. Inside the pod, Cade opened the downloaded files. He scanned the images, maps of Earth's weak spots, launch times of alien warships, names of planets that would help in the invasion, alien spies already hiding on Earth. Cade's jaw tightened. This is worse than I thought, he muttered, suddenly. Dash, beep, beep, beep. An alert lit up. An incoming ship was behind him, fast, strong, with weapons locked. Cade checked the ID. Zorth's flagship. His blood turned cold. He activated defense mode. The small pod started moving in zigzags, dodging the radar lock. A laser shot fired. Just missed. Another one hit the side ripping off a small engine piece. Smoke filled the back. Come on, hold together, Cade said, pushing the pod to max speed. Outpost Tacticians was still minutes away. Zorth's voice came over the comm. I know what you are. I know where you're going. You won't leave this sector alive. Human. Cade didn't answer. He shut off comms inside Zorth's ship. The general smiled. This one is brave, he said, but still, human. He loaded another missile. But then his screen went black. Static. His ship jolted. What is this? Back on Earth's side, Outpost Tacticians had received Cade's early signal. They activated an EMP pulse aimed at any incoming threat near Cade. Zorth's ship was hit first. Engines offline, weapons frozen. Alarms screaming. Cade's pod flew past. Him straight into the open hangar of Theta-6. It landed hard. Sparks flew. Cade jumped out. Coughing to Earth, soldiers grabbed him. Are you Agent Walker? He nodded. I've got everything. The aliens are coming. We don't have much time. Inside the command room, Earth's generals gathered. Cade placed the crystal into the projector. Images filled the screen. Cities marked for destruction. Alien fleets hidden in deep space, spy names, dates, everything. Gasps filled the room. This is an invasion map, one officer whispered. It's war, another said. Cade looked at them all. I sat in their war room. I heard their voices. They will not stop until Earth is dust. A heavy silence followed. Then a general spoke. Then, we will not wait for them. We prepare. We strike. Far away, inside his frozen ship, Zorth stared at the blank screen. His eyes burned with rage. You think this is over, human? He growled. You have only made us angry. He pressed a button. A message was sent across the galaxy. Activate Project Dark Sky. Begin Phase 2. And on Earth. Cade looked out the window of the outpost. He knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy had planned for Earth's end. But now, Earth would plan its survival, and the galaxy would learn humans don't go down without a fight. The stars outside Outpost 36 were calm, but inside, chaos had begun. Cade Walker stood in the middle of the command room. Earth's top military minds were around him, speaking in low, fast voices. The alien data crystal sat on the table, still glowing. It held every plan for Earth's destruction. Cade took a deep breath. "We have to warn Earth," he said. General Hart, a tall man with gray eyes, nodded. "Agreed. But our deep space signal systems are slow. It will take at least 12 hours to send this much data." Cade's jaw tightened. "That's too long. The invasion could begin before the message even lands." A young officer raised her hand. "Sir, we could use the Omega line. It's a direct laser communication beam. Fast, secure, no delay." Hart paused. "That's classified. Risky, but it might work." Cade looked at him. "We don't have time for safe." Down in the lower levels of the station, technicians worked quickly. Cables were plugged in. Lights blinked. The Omega line had not been used in 12 years, the last time it was activated. It almost overheated the station's core, but now it was Earth's best hope. Cade stood next to the main console. The alien data was now loading into the Omega system 10%, 25%. For 2%, he watched the numbers rise, then dash red light. "Loud alarm," signal interrupted. Shouted a technician. Cade leaned over. "What happened?" A voice answered from the back. "It's them." The screen changed. A new signal had appeared in space. A small device Elian made was jamming. The Omega line. Floating silently near the edge of Theta 6, they knew we'd try to send a message. Cade said, "They're cutting Earth off." Back on the alien side, General Zorth sat inside his repaired warship. His eyes stared at the screen, a small smile on his face. "The jamming device is in place," he asked. "Yes, General," said his crew. "The humans won't be able to send a full warning," Zorth nodded. "Good, they know we're coming, but they cannot stop us now." He stood tall. "Begin movement of Fleet Shadow 1. Earth's skies will burn soon." On Outpost Theta 6, the engineers worked harder than ever. Sparks flew, hands moved fast, sweat on every face. "The jamming signal is blocking everything," one of them said. "We need to destroy that device." Cade stepped forward. "I'll do it." General Hart looked at him. "It's dangerous. You'll have to fly close in a stealth ship. One hit, and you're gone." Cade nodded. Still better than letting Earth walk blind into an invasion. Minutes later, Cade sat inside a small black stealth fighter. Only one seat. No weapons. Just speed and silence. The engines, HUMMED, he launched into space toward the jamming signal as he flew. He could see the tiny alien device blinking red in the distance. He tapped his comms. "I'm 5 clicks out." The station responded. "Signal. Strength dropping. We need that thing gone." He flew closer, closer. Then he saw it. A dark shape behind the device. A hidden alien drone armed. And watching it was a trap. The drone locked onto his ship. Laser fire shot through space. Cade jerked the controls. The ship spun, dodging the first blast, then another, a hit scraping the wing. Smoke filled the cabin. He didn't stop. He pushed. Forward straight toward the device. The drone prepared a final blast. Cade opened the bay door and threw a magnetic bomb toward the jammer. It stuck. He spun away, barely missing another shot. Then dash boom, the device exploded in blue fire. Signal restored. Cade's ship spiraled but didn't break. Back at Theta 6, the Omega line lit up again. "Signal restored," shouted the tech. The message to Earth resumed 70%, 88%, 100%, sent, delivered. Safe. Cheers filled the room. General Hart smiled for the first time. Then he turned to the screen. "Cade, do you copy?" Static. Then Cade's voice came through, rough but alive. "Target down. Ship's damaged. Returning now. Zorth watched from his warship. His smile was gone. He slammed his hand against the screen. They destroyed the jammer. His crew stepped back afraid. Zorth growled, "It doesn't matter. Begin attack anyway. Earth will still fall." Inside his battered ship, Cade saw the lights of Theta 6 coming closer. His hands shook, but inside his chest, a feeling grew stronger: hope. The message had gone through. Earth would know. And Earth would fight. Cade Walker lay on a stretcher inside the medbay of Outpost Theta 6. His ship had landed in flames. His suit was torn. His left arm burned from the explosion. But he was alive. Barely. Doctors moved quickly around him, cleaning wounds and checking vitals, one nurse whispered. He flew straight into the jamming field. "No fear," another replied. "That's a human for you." Cade didn't speak. His eyes stayed open, fixed on the ceiling. His mission was not finished. He had warned Earth, but he knew one message was not enough to win the war. In the command room, General Hart and the others watched a new alert, a live signal coming from inside enemy space. But it was strange. It wasn't military code. It was a private transmission, bouncing through old, unused satellite paths. Hart leaned forward. "Open it." A blurry face appeared on the screen. Purple skin, soft glowing eyes. It was Lyritha, alien engineer, who helped Cade escape. Her voice was calm, but quick. "They don't know I'm sending this. I have new information. The Council has activated something called Phase 2. I don't know what it is, but I think it's bigger than invasion." General Hart frowned. "Why are you helping us?" Lyra looked straight into the camera. "Because I believe you deserve a chance, and because one of your people trusted me when he didn't have to." Cade sat up slowly in the medbed as her voice played. A weak smile came to his face. Hours later, Cade stood in the mission room, patched up but still hurting. Hart briefed him she's willing to meet. Secretly, on neutral ground, she says she can get you the codes to shut down the enemy's shield grid. That's the only way our fleet can strike first. Cade nodded. "Where?" Hart pressed a button. A map lit up. Planet X3R. A mining world. Abandoned. No laws. No rules. Dangerous. Perfect for a secret meeting. 2 days later, Cade landed on the dry, cracked surface of X3R. The air was thin. The sky, orange. Old machines lay dead in the dust. He walked into a broken hangar, his weapon at his side. Footsteps echoed. Then Lyra appeared. She was wearing a dark cloak and moved carefully, her eyes always watching the shadows. "You came," she said. "I trust you," Cade replied. "That's rare for me." She gave him a small, sad smile. "I brought what you need," she said, handing him a silver crystal chip. "These are the access codes. Your ships will be able to strike their core fleet before they're ready." Cade took it, then paused. "Why are you risking everything for this?" She looked away. "My parents were killed by the Council during the war with the Valari. My people called it justice. I called it murder." She turned back to him. "I've been waiting a long time to do something right." Before Cade could answer, a loud sound echoed through the hangar. A ship landed outside, then shouting, "They're here," Lyra whispered. "They tracked me." Cade grabbed her arm. "Run!" They dashed through broken tunnels, old mining shafts, and rusty halls. Blaster shots echoed behind them. A bolt hit the wall inches from Lyra's head. Cade fired back, forcing the enemy to duck. They reached a cliffside near the edge of the mining zone, only one way down. "Jump," Cade said. Lyra hesitated, then nodded. They jumped into the dark pit below, landed hard. Cade groaned, clutching his side. "I think I broke something." Lyra helped him up. "Come on, I know a way out." They ran again through a forgotten maintenance tunnel. Light flickered. Finally, they reached a small exit hatch. Cade's emergency beacon blinked nearby. His small escape shuttle waited, hidden under rocks. They climbed in. Cade placed the crystal chip in a shielded case, then looked at Lyra. "With me?" She looked down. "If I go back, I'm dead. If I go with you, I'm an enemy to my people." He paused. "You'll be protected. Earth honors those who risk everything for peace." She nodded. "All right, let's end this together." Back at Theta 6, the chip was analyzed. The codes were real. They could bring down the Council's main defense system. For the first time, Earth had the power to strike back. General Hart stood before the screen. "Send the codes to Earth Fleet Command." Tell them to prepare for Operation Phoenix." Far away, General Zorth watched his council gather. He frowned. Someone helped the human again. His second-in-command asked, "Do you want us to find the traitor?" Zorth smiled coldly. "No. Let the humans come. Let them bring their ships, their weapons, their hope." He stood. "I will burn all of it." But he didn't know. Earth had found allies, and not all aliens stood with him anymore. Some, like Lyra, stood with humanity, and soon the galaxy would feel the weight of that choice. Alarms echoed through the lower decks of the Galactic Council station. Red lights flashed, sirens wailed. The walls shook with distant explosions. Cade Walker ran through the metal halls, sweat on his face, pulse racing. Behind him, Lyra followed close, clutching the stolen command chip. "Go left," she shouted. "The core tunnel leads to the escape platform." Cade turned sharply, nearly slipping on the smooth steel floor. Smoke rose from the vents. The station was in chaos. Operation Phoenix had begun. Earth's fleet had used the codes Lyra gave them. The alien shield grid failed. Earth's warships entered deep space, firing the first shots. Now, the Council station, the heart of the alien empire, was under attack, and Cade and Lyra were trapped inside it. 5 minutes earlier, Lyra had led Cade to the central Kortha power center of the entire station. They wanted to plant a disruption device, one that could completely shut down the station's weapons and alert system. But as soon as they activated the device, a deep voice came through the speaker. "Human, you should not have come back." It was General Zorth, and he was waiting. Within seconds, elite alien soldiers flooded the core. Cade and Lyra had no choice. They triggered the device early, setting off explosions across the power grid, then ran for their lives. Now the station was falling apart, and they were deep inside it. "We don't have much time," Cade said, breathing hard. "This place is going to blow. We need to reach the west hangar," Lyra replied. "There's a scout ship there, fast and small." They turned another corner, just as a blast shook the floor beneath them. A fireball burst from a side tunnel. Cade shielded Lyra, pushing her to the ground. Debris flew over their heads. "We're getting close," she coughed. "The hangar is 2 levels up." They climbed a side ladder, broken and smoking. Cade's shoulder throbbed from the jump back on planet X3R, but he kept moving. The lights flickered. Doors opened. Suddenly, blaster fire. 2 enemy guards stood at the top. Of the ladder, Cade pulled his weapon and fired quickly 1 shot. Then 2, both guards dropped. He reached the top, breathing hard. "Clear. Move." They ran through the final corridor. In the distance, they could now hear the sound of Battle-Earth ships outside. Alien forces returning fire. One last door, they reached the hangar and froze. General Zorth stood in front of the scout ship, a row of elite guards behind him. Zorth smiled slowly. "Going somewhere?" Cade stepped forward. "It's over, Zorth. Earth knows. We're not the weak species you thought we were," Zorth growled. "You've started something you don't understand. Human. You think this war is about fear? No, it's about control, and we will never let Earth rise." Lyra stepped beside Cade. "Then you'll have to go through both of us." Zorth raised his arm. Gladly, he gave the order. "Kill them," blasters roared. Cade rolled behind a cargo crate, then another, but they were outnumbered. Cade's weapon clicked, empty. He looked at Lyra. She was pinned down, her side bleeding. Zorth walked forward slowly, weapon in hand, eyes burning. "This ends now," he said, pointing the blaster at Cade. Then boom! A blast shook the hangar. The ceiling tore open. A ship descended, Sleekfasten Earth fighter. The bay doors burst apart. Reinforcements Earth soldiers jumped out, firing on the enemy. Zorth roared in anger. "No." In the chaos, Cade grabbed Lyra and ran toward the scout ship. Zorth tried to follow, but a missile exploded near him, throwing him back. Cade threw Lyra into the pilot's seat. "Can you fly this thing?" She nodded weakly. "I was born in the stars." Cade strapped in beside her. The engines fired. The scout ship lifted and blasted through the open hangar. Behind them, the Council station continued to burn. Explosions ripped through its center. Earth ships circled like vultures. For the first time, the alien stronghold was falling. Inside the ship, Lyra guided them through debris and fire. "We did it," she whispered, her voice shaking. Cade looked out the window. Earth ships, human power. Rising, he turned to her. No, we're just getting started. Far behind, deep in the broken station, Zorth stood among the rubble, his armor cracked, his face bloody, but he still stood, watching the human ship escape. You will pay for this, he whispered. All of you. Then he activated his personal beacon and disappeared into the shadows. Back at Earth H, the galaxy had changed. 1 Mission. 2 Allies. And the courage of a human who sat in a room where he didn't belong. The skies above Earth glowed with the light of hundreds of returning ships. After years of silence, Earth had finally answered the alien threat. The world was no longer afraid. Inside the Global Defense Command, located deep under the Rocky Mountains, Cade Walker stood before the top generals of Earth. His uniform was torn, his face marked with battle scars, but his eyes were focused. Next to him stood Lyra, wounded but alive. She had risked everything to help humanity, and now Earth was listening. On a large holographic screen behind them, footage played. Explosions in the Alien Council station. Alien soldiers running Earth ships blasting through their defenses. General Reeve folded his arms. You're telling us the Council planned to wipe us out completely? Cade nodded. They held a secret seminar, discussing how to eliminate humans. They never expected a human to be there hidden in plain sight. Lyra stepped forward, speaking slowly. The Council fears Earth. Not because you're weak, but because you're different. You adapt. You fight back. That scares them. There was silence in the room. Then General Reeve said, So what do we do now? Cade took a deep breath. We show them that humanity doesn't kneel anymore. Across the galaxy, the news of Earth's surprise attack spread fast. Some alien worlds were shocked. Others were impressed. But the Galactic Council was furious. Inside a hidden war chamber, General Zorth paced the floor. His armor was repaired. His face still held the burn mark from the explosion. The humans have crossed a line, Zorth growled. They destroyed our shield systems. They humiliated our council. This is war now. One of his commanders spoke nervously. Sir, what? If Earth is not alone, what if other species begin to follow them? Zorth's red eyes narrowed. Then we crush them too. I want Earth's cities burning. I want their oceans boiling. I want their skies filled with fire. He slammed his hand on the table. Prepare the Dreadhammer fleet. We attack Earth in 5 cycles. Back on Earth, the Defense Command was already moving. New battle units were being trained. War satellites were activated. And old alliances were reforged. But the real power came from the people. Humans, scientists, engineers, pilots, soldiers rallied together like never before. They were no longer just defending Earth. They were defending their place in the galaxy. Cade stood in front of a huge window in the orbital base watching the stars. He remembered the seminar. The cold alien voices talking about destroying Earth like it was a simple task, but they were wrong. Earth was not easy to break. Lyra joined him, holding a datapad. We intercepted a message from Zorth's command. They're preparing a fleet, bigger than anything we've seen. Cade didn't blink. Let them come. Later that night, Earth's top leaders spoke to the world. A broadcast was sent across every continent, and across deep space. Cade stood on the platform, the stars behind him, and began to speak to the Galactic Council. You tried to decide our fate behind closed doors. We fight, and now we're watching you too. The message went viral across star systems. Even neutral alien species started to pay attention. Some secretly sent messages to Earth, saying they admired their courage. Others warned Earth to be careful, but Earth had already made its decision. In a secret shipyard near the moon, Earth's engineers were building something new, a massive warship unlike anything seen before. Its name, the Titan Flame. It was made from alien tech stolen from the Council. Mixed with Earth's most powerful weapons, Cade was assigned to lead. Lyra would serve as co-pilot and alien tech advisor. The ship was not just a defense tool, it was a message, a warning, a promise. As the countdown began for the enemy fleet to arrive, Earth prepared for the biggest battle in its history. Every soldier was on alert. Every pilot was ready. And deep inside Earth's war room, one command was repeated again and again. No retreat, no surrender. Cade stood in front of the Titan Flame, looking up at the giant vessel. He placed his hand on the cold metal. "This time," he whispered, "we bring the fight to them." Meanwhile, in the outer rim of the galaxy, Zorth's Dreadhammer fleet gathered near a red dwarf star. Over 200 ships, loaded with plasma cannons, gravity bombs, and storm cruisers. Zorth stood on the bridge of the flagship, staring at the star. "Map. Set course for Earth," he commanded. A dark voice echoed behind him. "You better not fail again, General." Zorth turned slowly. It was a shadowy figure part of the High Species Council. Older, smarter, more dangerous. Zorth growled, "I won't this time. I bring Earth to its knees." Back at Earth orbit, the warning beacons activated. The alien fleet was moving. Within 72 hours, the final battle would begin. But Earth was ready, more ready than it had ever been, because this time humanity had a ship of its own. And a warrior who had once sat quietly in row 3 was now standing at the front of Earth's strongest ship, ready to lead. The stars were quiet, too quiet, then they came. The Dreadhammer fleet, dark and massive, appeared like a storm swallowing the edge of Earth's solar system. Hundreds of alien warships lit up the black sky. Their weapons hummed with deadly energy, but Earth was ready, floating. Just beyond the moon, Earth's defenders waited. The Titan Flame, the largest and most advanced human ship ever built, stood at the center. And inside its command bridge stood Cade Walkercom, focused, unshakable. He looked across the room, eyes meeting Lyra's. "This is it," he said. Lyra nodded. "We hold the line, no matter what." Back on Earth, billions watched the battle unfold live. Children held their parents' hands. Old veterans stood in silence, saluting the screen. Every soul on Earth knew this was more than a fight, it was survival. The enemy moved first. Plasma torpedoes flew from the alien fleet, glowing blue like falling stars. The Titan Flame dodged hard left. Smaller Earth ships followed tight formation. "Shields at 80%, yelled the systems officer. "Return fire," Cade commanded. Earth's fleet fired everything they had: missiles, laser cannons, ion beams. The sky lit up with explosions. Alien ships burst like glass under pressure. But Earth ships also fell. 1, then 3. Then 10. Cade's voice echoed through the comms. "This is not just for Earth. This is for every human who ever died in silence. For every life they planned to erase. We don't run. We don't bow. We fight." Lyra's hands danced over controls, activating the Titan Flame's hidden weapon, the Star Core Cannon. "Target locked," she said. Cade gave the order. "Fire." A beam of white-hot energy exploded forward, cutting through 6 enemy cruisers in a single shot. The alien fleet shifted, suddenly aware that Earth's new weapon was beyond anything they expected. Inside the enemy flagship, General Zorth roared in anger. "They've upgraded. That ship? It's powered by Council tech." Another officer cried out, "They're using our own weapons against us." Zorth slammed his fist on the console. "Then destroy it now." Back at the Titan Flame, alarms screamed. A group of alien bombers broke through Earth's front line and headed straight for the Flame. "They're coming fast," shouted Lyra. Cade didn't blink. "All power to front shields, we hold." The impact shook the ship violently. Metal groaned. Sparks flew. Flames burst across the corridor walls. Inside the engine room, one of the reactor cores caught fire. Crew members rushed in to control the damage. Even as the Titan Flame trembled, it didn't fall. Then, something unexpected happened. One of the alien ships began transmitting a signal. Lyra read the message. Her eyes widened. "It's a surrender signal from within the enemy fleet." Cade turned to her. "What?" "Some of them are standing down. They say they don't want war anymore. They watched Earth fight back. They believe we deserve our place in the galaxy." Hope flickered across Cade's face, but Zorth was not finished. He activated a final Weapona planet crusher, bomb capable of turning Earth into dust. "Let's end this game," he growled. The weapon launched a dark object the size of a mountain. Flew toward Earth. Cade's heart sank. There wasn't enough time to shoot it down, unless... He looked at Lyra. She already knew what he was thinking. The Titan Flame could stop it, but it would have to ram the weapon directly. "A suicide move," Lyra whispered. "We don't have to do this," Cade smiled. "Yes, we do. The ship turned toward the weapon. All remaining Earth ships cleared the path. General Reeves' voice echoed on the comms. "You don't have to do this, son," Cade answered calmly. "If I don't, there will be no Earth left to defend." The Titan flame raced forward like a blazing comet. Zorth saw it too late. His eyes widened. No, no, no. With a final shout, Cade pushed the button for Earth. The ship collided with the weapon. A massive white light swallowed space. Silence then. Cheers, from Earth, from Mars, from orbit. Across the galaxy, screens flashed the same message. The bomb has been destroyed. Earth is safe. A week later, a memorial was held for Cade Walker. Across the world, people cried. They lit candles. They named schools, ships, and even a new moon base after him. Lyra stood alone at the edge of the ceremony. She looked up at the stars. He sat quietly in row 3, but when the galaxy tried to erase his people, he became the voice they never expected. The Galactic Council dissolved weeks later. Too many species had turned against them. They were no longer feared, and Earth was now respected. A new seat at the interstellar table was created, and on that seat the name read, Humanity.